Welcome back to stage 6 of the Cambridge Latin course. Today in our second grammar video for this stage we'll be having a look at another tense, the perfect tense. So in the previous video we looked at the imperfect tense, and as displayed by the timeline of tenses on the slide, the imperfect tense refers to an incomplete or unfinished action or event which began in the past. On the other hand, the perfect tense refers to an event which happened in the past, which is now finished or completed. That is to say, there was a definitive ending to that action. So now that we've established that the perfect tense indicates a clean break to an action in the past, whereas the imperfect tense does not, how do we recognize this difference in terms of the Latin? Here we have the same three verbs that we used in the previous video, ambulare, audire, and esse. But note the different endings. I've picked ambulare and audire as first and fourth conjugation verbs respectively, because the rules for determining the perfect tense are slightly more complicated than the imperfect tense, and first and fourth conjugation nouns tend to work quite cleanly, and these are the ones that are typically used in the stories for this stage, but we can come back to the other ones for the second and third conjugation later. So you'll notice that the letter V is underlined, similarly to how we had BA or EBA underlined between the stem and the verb ending for the imperfect form of verbs, and hence this V segment within the middle of a verb typically indicates again that this would be a verb in the perfect rather than the imperfect tense. We come again to esse, and here we have the verb conjugated in the perfect tense, and it goes as follows: fui, fuisti, fuit, fuimus, fuistis, fuerant. And the endings for verbs in the perfect tense more generally go as follows: isti, it, imus, istis, erant. Now we've looked at the imperfect and perfect tenses, please have a go at this exercise from stage 6 of the Cambridge Latin course. Here we have a translation of the text from that comprehension, which you can also use for these questions. Equally, as well as translating the text, you could also choose to just complete the comprehension. But hopefully this indicates the difference between the perfect and the imperfect tense. Whilst in English we generally refer to both as the past tense, hopefully you'll see that grammatically there is a difference between the two, and this has also been reflected hopefully through the different verb endings for the different forms of the verb in the respective tenses. Hopefully you found this video interesting and helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.